Hello and welcome to Make It Happen with Will Polston. I'm Will Polston. This is episode number 26, and in this episode we're going to be talking about morning routines. This is actually part 2 of morning routine, so it's one of my favourite subjects. If you haven't listened to part 1 yet, go back to part 1 because there's so much value that I highly recommend that you listen to. You know, we've covered some fantastic stuff in part 1 already, like the power of gratitude, affirmations, personal declarations, meditation, breathing, visualization. So yeah, go back and listen to it. If you've already listened to it, then you're in for a treat. We've got some great stuff that we're going to be covering. So we're going to kick off by talking about exercise. So exercise is going to make a huge difference to your day. Obviously, exercise is defined as any movement that makes your muscles work and requires your body to burn calories. And there's so many types of physical activity, including swimming, jogging, running, walking, dancing, yoga, just to name a few of them. And being active has been shown to have so many health benefits, both physically and mentally, and it can even help you live longer. So you should start with something, and that could be as simple as 1 minute of star jumps, you know, but I'm not going to go into all the different types of exercising here, but I highly recommend that you exercise. Personally, I think sort of optimum is sort of somewhere between, depending on the type of intensity, but anywhere from sort of 20 to 40 minutes if it's sort of relatively high intensity. But yeah, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of exercise. That in itself is, I mean, you could have a whole podcast show just about exercises, let alone episode. But yeah, I would highly recommend exercising in the morning. So the next thing we're going to talk about is actually learning. Now, when I spoke about the SAVERS acronym, I said reading, which is part of Hal Elrod's SAVERS acronym. But I'm going to say right off the bat that you don't need to read in the morning. Obviously, he uses R for reading, but I change it to learning because I think you're wise to learn something new first thing in the morning. If you've already started your day by gaining some new insight, then you're off to a winner because, of course, any new knowledge gives us an opportunity to grow. And if you're not growing, you're dying. So a few ways that you could grow in the morning could be reading a few pages or chapters of a book. You could read a blog. You could watch a video. You could listen to an audio book. You could listen to a podcast. There's loads of different ways that you can learn, but gain some new insights in the morning. The next thing I want to talk about is cold showers, and having a cold shower, or at least finishing with a cold shower, has numerous mind and body and health benefits. So it can help promote fat loss, it can improve immunity, it can give you better circulation, it will help drain your lymphatic system, it will promote emotional resilience, it will lower stress, it will lower your chance of depression, it will promote faster muscle recovery. But there's a few other little known facts about cold showers. Now, one of them is that we sleep in REM cycles, so rapid eye movement cycles, which are typically 75 to 90 minutes. If you wake up in a REM cycle, you'll feel particularly groggy. And the only way it's been proven to get out of a REM cycle is cold showers. You guessed it, cold water exposure. So the thing that's really interesting is that you could wake up set your alarm for 6 o'clock in the morning and think, I just want to have another half an hour in bed. You know, I'll have another half hour, 40 minutes. I'll just have that extra bit of lying. But ironically is that if you were at the end of your REM cycle, then you sleep another 30 minutes, you then move back into the middle of your REM cycle, so you can actually be more tired by having longer sleep than not. One of the ways of getting around this is using an app called Sleep Cycle, and there's lots of other different company apps, but I tend to like Sleep Cycle, and it will help you make sure that you wake up in a sort of at the end of a REM cycle before you go into another one. So yeah, that's that. But cold showers are extremely beneficial, and also I've been told that a cold shower at 4 degrees, I believe it's 4 degrees, for 2 minutes has the same cardiovascular benefit as 40 minutes of exercise, which sounds crazy. Obviously, you're not going to get the same muscle impact, but in terms of the cardiovascular impact, because the way that it condenses your veins, it can have a significant impact there. So yeah, extremely beneficial. The next thing I want to talk about is vitamin vitality. So your energy comes from your cells, and in my opinion, toxicity, deficiency, and misalignment that impact your cells are the sources of disease and illness. So there's so many so many different types of supplements that you can take to feed your cells and maintain that improved health and most importantly prevent illness and disease. So many of us, we're so used to taking painkillers or medicine when we're ill, but very few of us will take vitamins to prevent us getting ill. And one of the things that I do, I personally just love is being at optimum level. If you don't have your energy, then what do you have? Health is wealth. We all know that, but very few people actually do things to make sure they maximize it. So I'm going to suggest a few supplements that I feel worthy of taking each day, what I personally take. Obviously, a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor or a nutritionalist, so please feel free to seek professional advice if you feel the need to do so. But one of the things that I highly recommend is omega oils. I personally use Dr. Udas Ultimate Blend, they're extremely beneficial. Now, obviously, most people think that fats they think fat's a bad thing, but the truth is that fats are really important to our diets and our overall health, and the secret is knowing what fats are healthy and which fats will kill you. Essential fatty acids are healthy or healing fats, and every cell in your body requires them to function, particularly your brain, which is actually made up of 60% fats. And these good fats consist of the essential fatty acids. Omega-3 and omega-6 are great sources of them. And your body must consume these fats to survive. Without them, the lipid membrane around your cells will actually start to break down. So there's loads and loads of benefits to them. I'm not going to go into all of the benefits, but ultimately you'll notice you'll have more energy, more endurance, more strength, more power. Your recovery will be better. You'll be more flexible, and they're great to take. Another thing that I love to take in the morning is wheatgrass, and wheatgrass really packs a lot of power in a small amount. It's 70% chlorophyll, which, if you're not familiar with chlorophyll, it's the blood of plants. It will help keep your blood clean and healthy, and it's also one of the greatest concentrations of the mineral which you can actually get. So loads of benefits to it, and I'm going to talk in a minute about the power of having a balanced pH, and that's what wheatgrass will help do. I also take a supplement, a floridic supplement, which contains organic iron, and I like taking iron because of it helps contribute to the reduction of tiredness and fatigue, which it's extremely beneficial, and it also contributes to normal red blood cell formation. Magnesium, I take magnesium. Now, magnesium is a really important one, and the magnesium is a vital mineral for the function of your body. It's actually the fourth most abundant mineral in your body, but your body can't make it, so you have to obtain it from your diet. It's also known as the mighty mineral because the cells in your body depend on magnesium in regulating your day-to-day metabolic reactions to help the process of cell division and protein synthesis, just to facilitate proper muscle and nerve function. So it's a really, really important part of what you do. But what happens, and the reason why magnesium is so important and the real role of it is because, especially during strenuous physical activities, of people who work out or train on a regular basis, it's when we're doing that, magnesium are lost when we sweat. So the intake of magnesium helps to balance that, but also stress depletes the magnesium levels in your body significantly. So if you're highly stressed, you'll be using a lot of magnesium, which is probably one of the reasons why you might have noticed that when you are particularly stressed, you might crave chocolate, and that's because magnesium is in chocolate, so our body's craving it, that's something that will have an impact. Vitamin C, again, vitamin C has loads of benefits, including production of collagen and various neurotransmitters. It's got loads of benefits. I highly recommend taking vitamin C. I also take apple cider vinegar. I use a brand called Bragg's. What it will do is it will help lower blood sugar levels and regulate those blood sugar levels, which is particularly good for people with type 2 diabetes, but it's beneficial for anybody. It can also increase good cholesterol and maintain a healthy heart and cardiovascular system. And something else that I like to take is lemon water. So lemon is actually alkaline when it's added to water. So what it will do is it will help rid the body of excess acid. It's a rich source of vitamin C. Lemon juice helps protect the immune system, similar to what vitamin C does. So yeah, when you put lemon in water, it makes it slightly more alkaline, whereas before it's slightly acidic. So yeah, it's extremely beneficial. So that's vitamins that is well worth taking. Now, one of the things that I'm conscious of is trying to maintain a slightly more alkaline state. I want to have a slightly more alkaline state. So in order for you to feel fully alive and have this abundance of energy, that's what we want to do. Because energy, let's face it, is the vital force within all of us that allows us to maximize our capacity as human beings. And if we get out of balance, our energy is depleted, then we experience all kinds of problems: stress, fatigue, depression, disease, things that we don't want. And that balanced body chemistry and maintain a proper ratio between acid and alkaline foods in your diet is such a vital, important part of maintaining your health. In fact, if you have too much acidity, if your body is too acidic and it's sort of in your body's tissues, it will cause all types of health challenges, everything from just feeling lethargic and fatigued to obesity, and then much bigger health challenges further down the line. So the more we can be aware of this and start to make these tweaks, the better. At a fundamental level, the regulatory mechanisms like breathing, circulation, digestion, hormone production, these are all impacted and have an impact on the pH level in the body, and will remove acidic residues from the body's tissues. That's what they will all do. So if we can aid that by making sure that we're not too acidic, then great, but if it becomes too alkaline, then the cells will become poisoned by as well, and that's not what we want to do. So highly acidic foods would be things like lots of sugars. Highly alkaline foods are things that basically really green, so any pretty much broccoli, spinach, so on and so forth. So it's just being mindful of these things. That's what we're looking to do. But yeah, I don't want to go into too much more detail on that. It's, again, similar to like exercise, a big topic when we start talking about diet. But just be mindful of it, even if it's just a glass of lemon water first thing in the morning. So the next thing I want to talk about is net time. So a lot of what I've spoken about, you're like, oh my God, Will, you're giving us all of these different things to do. It's an awful lot. But what we can start to utilize, and not just in the morning, but any time of the day, is NET, which stands for no extra time tasks. And it's a really useful tool to ensure you're making the most of your day. It's a simple process for combining the tasks that you desire to do, and do them simultaneously, therefore creating more time to do them, or can save you time. So rather than just spending an hour sat in traffic listening to the radio, you might choose to listen to an audiobook or a personal development podcast, where you might be listening to this right now. Instead of exercising, just sort of not doing anything, you might choose to read on a treadmill. I mean, there's loads of different ways that you can maximize time. Just a few examples that I use are listen to an audiobook when I'm on my way to work. I brush my teeth in the shower. I do breathing exercises when I'm in the bathroom. I do affirmations. I say my affirmations out loud sometimes when I'm in the shower. There's loads and loads of different ways that you can look at combining these tasks. Think about how can you combine tasks, not just in the morning, but throughout your day, to maximize time. So just to look at rounding this up, what I want to talk about is having full and short routines. So I have a full routine, which if I'm exercising, doing everything, it can take sort of 2 hours in the morning, a little bit longer than that, 2.5 hours when I include exercise and traveling time and all the rest of it. That's quite a lengthy morning routine, but I don't always have the time to do a full morning routine. So I also have a short morning routine which is non-negotiable. So what I encourage you to do is identify a couple of things that you want to test, and they can be maybe your full routine to start, but then introduce something that's going to be your non-negotiable. So one of my non-negotiables is meditating. Another one of my non-negotiables is learning something. So even if it's just one page of a book, I'm doing that. And then also another one of my non-negotiables is my affirmations, because my affirmations, I actually have them written as my bookmark in that book. So although I know them up by heart now, I can just use this a visual prompt to remind me to do them. So that's morning routines. There's an awful lot that we cover there. But what I want to encourage you to do is, if you're serious about this and you really want to make a difference, then I have a course, my morning routine course. Like I say, I'm a huge fan of it, which is part of our willpower program. You can get access to that morning routine course and a 45-page workbook, which encourages you to do a 30-day challenge and gives you all the video support to resource to do it. Also a private Facebook group and loads of other things that you get access to willpower, plus 15 other resources, affirmation audios and other video courses on various different things. If you're interested in about that course, then basically it's £25 a month, cancel any time, the 30-day money back guarantee. If you want to take your morning routines further, then just email us at info@make-it-happen, or you can go to make-it-happen.co.uk and you can find willpower and you can sign up for that and you can be involved. We'd love to have you involved in doing that course and taking your morning routine to the next level. So I hope you found this particular podcast beneficial. I hope it's been useful for you. If you have got any questions whatsoever, then feel free to reach out in the Make It Happen community. If you've enjoyed this podcast and these last 2 episodes on morning routines, then please leave us a 5-star review. Give us a little written review as well. We'd really appreciate that. And hopefully it's been beneficial for you guys. Until next time, make it happen.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Make It Happen with Will Polston podcast. Make sure you join Will's free Facebook group, the Make It Happen community. Please support the show by subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud or Google Play. Share this episode with at least one friend you think would benefit from it and give Will a 5-star review wherever you download your podcasts. Until next time, make it happen.